how to be successful this year. How to be successful this year. Have you ever asked the question, how can I be successful this year? Have you set resolutions year after year after year, right? Have you set resolutions year after year after year after year after year, and you wonder why the solution is not working or they are not working? That is what we are going to dive in today. Why am I not having the success year after year setting resolutions? This is Coach Antonio Landis Thompson, your empowerment, success, and purpose coach, helping you become all what you were designed to be, certified, credentialed through the International Coaching Federation. I got to say that again, certified and a credentialed coach through the International Coaching Federation. And you'll listen to Winners for Life Coaching Podcast, a place where you discover your success, your greatness, your purpose, your destiny, and become all what you were born to be. Sit back, relax, and let us go on a journey together of transformation, I could say. You set resolutions, and the resolutions don't work. And you want to be successful this year. Before I go on and get into those 3 strategies, I would like to say thank you to everybody all around the world who has been supporting this podcast, Winners for Life Coaching Podcast, all around the world. Thank you so much for listening, subscribing, following, and sharing. Also, this episode, if this resonates with you, and I want you to think about who can benefit from this. If someone can benefit from this podcast, I want you to share this podcast with them. Now, here's the thing. Before we get into the 3 strategies this year, for you to be successful in life, I got to go there. I have to go there. As a purpose and a success coach, I have to remind you the importance of discovering your purpose and walking in your purpose. Because when you discover your purpose and you walk in that purpose, you're living a successful life. That's for every year for the rest of your life. And the last 3 episodes I touched on, I did a series on how to unlock your purpose. And we talked about, before I get into the strategies, I have the latest foundation. We talked about that your purpose is inside of you. Hear me all around the world. Your purpose was never lost. You only find something that was lost. Your purpose is inside of you. I encourage you this year to discover that purpose that is inside of you and unlock that purpose that is inside of you. 3 strategies. 3 strategies today. Pull up a chair. Let's get into this coaching session. 3 strategies. Resolutions. The first point, stop setting resolutions. Stop setting resolutions, because resolutions don't work. Now, I want you to stay with me. I did some research. Let me go into how let's go into how these resolutions start coming about. According to some research I did, ancient origins in the Babylonians around 2000 BC. The Babylonians are credited for the first recorded New Year's pledges. The year began in mid-March during the 12th day of Akatua festival. Resolutions were religious promises to God to repay debts and return borrowed farm equipment to ensure divine favor for the harvest. Stay with me. This is how the resolution started. And then in ancient Rome, 46 BC, Julius Caesar established January 1st as the new year. The month was named after Janus, Janus, the two-faced god of beginnings and transitions. Rome made sacrifice and promises good conduct for the coming year to honor him. Okay, so that's how we get into this January 1st New Year's resolutions. Then let's move into the Middle Ages and early modern era. I know y'all historians like this. The vow of the peacock, right? Medieval knights renew their vows of clarity at the end of the year by placing their hands on a live or roasted peacock. Then you get into the spiritual reflection. In the 17th and 1800s, resolutions were deeply rooted in moral and religious development. Watch night services. That familiar? I grew up in the Bahamas where we go to watch night services. People still bring in the new year all over the world with watch night services. In 1740, John Wesley, the Covenant Renewal Service, also known as the Watch Night, as a spiritual alternative to the rowdy New Year celebration where our congregants prayed and made resolutions. Some of you just took part in a Watch Night service. And then you get into the private journal. Famous figures throughout history start to get into private journals. And then you move into the transition into to the secular use now. The phrase New Year's resolution, the full term first appeared in print in a Boston newspaper in 1813, giving you some history. The article noted even then that people use resolution to expedite falls from December. I hope I said that correctly. Then you get into satire and failure. By the early 19th century, the habit of making and promptly breaking resolution was common enough in magazines. And then 20th century to the present, the tradition shifted from religious devotions to secular self-improvement, such as weight loss, financial management, and go on and on and on. That is how we got into this New Year's resolutions. Here's the thing. Resolutions don't work. And the reason why resolutions don't work, they are just a statement. I want to lose weight. That's it. I want to gain weight. That's it. I want to get out of debt. That's it. Resolutions are just statements, but they don't have no structure to go with it. Here's the thing. Get rid of resolutions because resolutions don't work. Now, here's the thing. When you live a purposeful life, and your life is driven by purpose, you don't need resolutions. What you do year after year, day after day, when you live a purposeful life, you focus on your mission. You focus on your assignment. You focus on what you were placed in this world to do. Therefore, you don't need the resolutions when you're purpose-driven. The second strategy, stop using resolutions, but start using objectives. Woo! Start using objectives. Now, some people might say goals, but I like to say objectives because when you say goals, imagine this. Let's play a game right here. My goal is to lose weight. My goal is to go to college. Let's take that same sentence and let's replace that word goal with objective. My objective is to lose weight. My objective is to go to college. When you use the word objective, psychologically in your mind, it makes you feel, like I tell you, words paint pictures and have psychological effects on us. When you use the word objective, it makes it feel like the objective is reachable on what you're going after. So here's a little trick here. Stop using the word goal, or I should say, replace it by using the word objective. Get an objective this year. Forget about the resolutions, or if it was a resolution, take that same resolution that you had and write it down as an objective. Oh, we be coaching today. Write that same word down as an objective. Now with an objective, you come up with a plan. You come up with a strategy. And guess what? You execute it. That is the reason why resolutions don't work. Resolutions don't work because it's just a statement, but there's no structure. There's no execution. When you set an objective, You come up with a plan. You come up with a strategy and you execute that. Come on, coach. Let's work through it. Your objective this year is to lose weight. Since that is your objective, now I'm coaching you right now. Since losing weight is your objective, making more money or saving more money is your objective, I want you now start to write down a plan on how you're going to lose weight. See, there's the difference. There is the difference. How you're going to lose weight. Let me drink some of this nice lemon water in my purpose cup. I want you to write down the objective that you want to achieve this year. Now I want you to write down a plan. Okay, write down a plan. Example, see, you say you want to lose weight. That's the New Year's resolution. And that's it. That's it. There's no plan. There's no structure. But when you say my objective is to lose weight, then you come up with a plan. Well, the plan is this. Maybe I need to change my eating habits. The plan is I may need to get on an exercising program or exercising regime. Let's flesh it out. How is that exercising routine going to look? Is it going to require joining a gym? Is it going to require getting up and going for a walk? Is it going to require watching videos and exercising in your living room? Some of you might say, I can't do all of that. You might live in an apartment complex. You might say, okay, what I'm going to do, 15 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day, I'm just going to walk the stairs in my apartment complex. So you're coming up with a structure. You're coming up with a structure. Then after you come up with a structure for your objective, you have to execute it. See, if you have a objective, and you have the plan, but if you don't execute the plan, there are no results. An idea or a dream, right? With plans, with no execution, is simply just an idea. And that is the reason why, now you're starting to see, that is the reason why your resolution never worked. Maybe it was not the discipline. Maybe you had the discipline. Maybe you had the structure, but guess what? There was no execution. Now here's some stats. So the first point we already talked on today is get rid of resolutions. And stop using the word resolution. Stop getting them resolutions. Resolutions just put pressure on you. Just put pressure on you. There's no structure. Come up with an objective and sit down today. And whatever that objective or objectives that you want to reach today, come up with a plan. Strategize your plan. Break it down into little objectives on how you're going to achieve the objective or the objectives. And then come up with a plan to execute that plan. Now, that's a whole different podcast we could get in. The law or the principle of planning. The law and the principle of planning is connected to the objective. Things don't just happen. This podcast didn't just happen. I had to what? Come up with a topic, right? Then I had to flesh out a plan, and I had an objective, and the objective today, right? I have a title, how you can be successful in 2026 with 3 strategies, but also I came up with an objective, and the objective today is when you finish listening to this podcast, you will have 3 strategies on how to be successful this year, and you will have 3 strategies on how to improve yourself. And the objective also is for you to stop making resolutions and start making objectives. And also the objective of this podcast today also is for you to give you a better understanding that one of the ways you can be successful this year is explore that purpose. Now here's some stats. Say some stats on New Year's resolutions. Why New Year's resolutions don't work. I have some information to back up what I'm talking about. And then after this, we're going to get into one more strategy. The reality by numbers. Only 8 to 10% of people successfully keep their New Year's resolutions. Only 8 to 10% of people successfully keep their New Year's resolutions. This is done by this is credited by the University of Stratton Journal of Clinical Psychology, New Year's News and World Report, and Forbes. Okay? Here's some other research. About 80% of resolutions fail by mid-February. About 80% of resolutions fail by mid-February. This is contributed from sources U.S. News, Forbes Health. Also, here's another stat. Only 25% of people stay committed after the first 30 days. Only 25% of people stay committed after the first 30 days. Cited from Columbia University Research and American Psychological Association, APA. Top reasons resolution fails. The goals are too vague. The goals are too vague. Common goals like get healthy or do better lack clarity. We talked about that. Somebody said, well, my goal is to lose weight. Okay, how is that going to happen? It's just a statement. This is tie in with what I'm talking about. Specific measurable goals are more successful, meaning that you gotta flesh it out. Your objective is to lose weight, but you gotta put in how you're gonna do that. Are you gonna do that one day a week? And maybe you, like I say, maybe you need to change your eating habits. Or if you want to save money, how is that money going to go into account? You just can't say, my goal this year is to save money. What is going to happen? What you going to do to save money? Is it going to be 5% on every pay period? Is it going to be 10%? Is it going to be direct deposit? Are you going to care? There you have to flesh it out. That is the reasons resolutions don't work. And this was done from the Harvard Business Review. Common goals are like get healthy or do better, lack clarity. Harvard Business Review. Over-reliance of motivation. Motivation fades quickly without structure. Stay that. Motivation fades quickly without structure. This is what the source is saying. Motivation fades quickly without structure. So therefore you set the resolution and there is no structure. And it fades out quickly. And you look at those new tennis that you brought to go running, those new tennis, those new outfits you brought to go to the gym, they smell so fresh. Some of them still have the tags on it, right? Because since there was no structure, that resolution faded away. Lasting change requires systems, not feelings. Lasting change. So if you want change this year, if you want to have change this year, you have to put in systems. So you have to put in systems because lasting change requires systems, not feeling. It's not like, I feel like losing weight, okay? And this is from an APA. This is from Forbes Psychology Today. Here's another point they have here. No habit formation. Most resolutions never become habits. Oh my gosh. Most resolutions never become habits. Don't forget to drink your water. Start your day up with water, some fresh Himalaya salt in there, and some lemon or lime and cayenne pepper and ginger. You'll be ready to go. Oh my gosh. Most resolutions never become habits. Wow. You see what happens? You set the resolution and it don't become a habit. Habits, not intentions, drive long-term behavior. Habits. So therefore, your objective, right, could be to lose weight, but you have to develop a habit of a healthy lifestyle. You have to develop a habit of eating properly. It becomes a habit. It becomes a habit. Maybe one of these podcasts, I'm going to talk to you some of the success I have over the years in terms of eating and what has really helped me. It becomes a habit. You want to save money, right? It becomes a habit. I was in the store a couple of days ago, and yesterday we just celebrate my daughter's birthday. Birthday blessings to my daughter. And I went into the store and I picked up something. It was some sweets. And I said, you know what? It was in the cart. And I put it back. I was like, you don't really need it. Why? Because we already have a birthday cake. We already have enough sweets. Here's the thing. I'm developing habits, right? When you go into the store, when you go to the restaurant to eat, do you order a salad? Do you order something healthy? Do you order something? Do you get a glass of water? Huh? Huh? Do you see it's developing habits. So according to here, habits, not intentions, drive long-term behavior, right? So habits, so when you develop good habits, good, hey, good spending habits, good relationship habits, good sleeping habits, right? Duke University research, habits equals 40% of daily behavior. This was done by Duke research. Habits equal 40% of daily behavior, and also they have in their psychology today. Here's the last thing I want to say. Here's when they did some stats on resolutions. The reason why resolutions don't work, lack of accountability. People are significantly more likely to succeed with accountability. People's like, hey, I go in to lose weight. I want to save money, but I don't want nobody know. I don't want nobody know. They say people are significantly more likely to succeed with accountability. Share your goals, but I like to say share your objectives and coach and increase follow through. Right? Having accountability, a coach could help you, could be accountability partner, one of your friends, one of your co-workers, one of your colleagues, one of your business associates. What happens is what they've done is what brings what the reason why people don't achieve the objective or resolutions don't work is they set out to achieve this resolution or this objective, like we could say, but there's no accountability. There's no one to hold them accountable. Say, hey, and you said you losing weight this year. I think you don't need to go for a second servant. Why are you drinking that? Why are you eating this for lunch? Why? Accountability partners. Accountability partners. Like this guy I used to run with, he's saying every time he see me, he say, Coach, when is the book? When is the book coming out? He's my accountability partner. So therefore, what I have to do this year, right? I have to sit down also, right? The objective is to release my book this year, right? Come up with a plan and execute that plan. And guess what? You're going to be the first one to know. So therefore, the reason why New Year's resolutions don't work is lack of accountability. People are significantly more likely to succeed with accountability. Share goals and coach it, increase follow through. Share goals and coach it, increase follow through. This research was done, credited to American Society of Training and Development, uh, Dominican University of California of Goal Achievement Study. Enough of that. Basically, resolutions don't work. So resolutions don't work. Set the objective, right? After you set the objective, come up with a plan and execute that. Here's the third and final strategy. The third and final strategy for you to have a successful year. You have to get rid of the old. You have to get rid of the old, and you can't bring the old in with the new. You can't take old and put it in with the new. A couple of days ago, right before the new year started, I had some like things to shred it. I didn't shred for a long time, and I went and shred like all of this junk mail that keeps coming in. And when I shared it, I was like, "Wait, something symbolic is going on right here." And when I did it, it wasn't like a big bag. I felt so good, and I realized I can't take the old into the new. I can't have that old mindset going into the new. And what I realized, for you and for us to be successful this year, we have to make space for the new and get rid of the old. Some things you just have to let go. You have to shred it. Maybe you need to cut that relationship. Maybe you need to let go of this job you've been with. You might have been in this place too long. It's time to get rid of that. I was trying to do something on my computer, and I was trying to do it on my computer, and I wasn't getting success. And for months after months, I wasn't getting success. And my friend keeps saying, actually, my coach was telling me, saying, Antonio, let me share your screen. I can show you how to do it. He's like, I don't understand what's going on. We can figure out what's going on. And guess what happened? About a couple weeks ago, all I did was my computer needed an update, and I updated it. And the very thing that I was trying to do all all year, I was able to do. And I realized that my computer needed to get updated to embrace the new. Woo! You see, we are trying to do, or I should say, we are attempting to do something new, but we operating on an old system. You cannot operate on an old system going into this new year. You cannot operate on that old mindset going into this new year. You cannot embrace the new with that old mentality. You have to, and I say you have to, it's very important for you to embrace the new. And embracing that new can be scary. Embracing that new can be getting in new environments, new circles, being around people who don't eat what you eat, don't look like you look, don't talk what you don't talk, don't believe what you believe. But guess what? It's the new. What happens, the reason why some of us are not having the success, or we will not have the success this year, or we've not been having the success over year, or not having the success like we want to year after year, is why? It's because we bring in all of that old garbage. We bring in all of that old garbage, and we carry it into a new year, year after year, and we're trying to figure out, how come we not being successful? How come we not being successful? Because we carry all of that old, dead weight that is weighing us down. Guess what? Here's your coach today. Cut it and let it go. If that friendship is not working, cut it. If that job is not working, cut it. If that eating habit is not working, cut it. That's something that I had to tweak a couple months ago. I had to cut some of that eating habit. I realized I was running, exercising, but something was going on with my weight. And I realized, okay, you have to cut some of this eating habits. And therefore, you embrace the new. Oh, thank you so much. We could go on and on and on and on. But what we talk about today, we talk about how to be successful this year, how to be successful next year. And the foundation that we talked about first was that purpose is the foundation of any success. That is very important, that you discover that purpose that is inside of you. And once you have that purpose inside of you, you are living a purposeful life. You don't need no resolution. So that's the foundation. And the three strategies that we talk about today is, one, get rid of resolutions. Because resolutions don't work. Resolutions don't work. But instead, don't just get rid of the resolution. Replace resolutions by objectives. Replace resolutions by objectives. And with that objective, come up with a plan. And within that plan, come up with objectives to reach that plan or reach the objectives. But not only come up with the objective, you come up with a plan, but also you have to execute. You have to take action to see the result. And the third strategy that we talked about today also is this. In order for us to embrace the new, we have to get rid of the old. We cannot bring the old into the new. You cannot operate in a new system with that old mindset. Thank you so much for listening to Winners for Life Coaching Podcast. This is Coach Antonio Landis Thompson. I encourage you, subscribe, follow this podcast and share this podcast with somebody that you think that could help them throughout this year. You've been listening to Winners for Life Coaching Podcast, a place where you discover your success, your greatness, your purpose, and become all what you were designed to be. The 3 strategies to live a successful year. Foundation, continue to live a purposeful life and explore your purpose, because with a purpose life, you don't need no resolutions. You live based on your mission and your assignment. But the 3 strategies: get rid of resolutions. 2, set the objective and execute those objectives. And 3, get rid of the old, cut the old off, and embrace the new. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, the best and the greatest day in the world to be alive is today. This is the year of abundance, 360 degrees, full cycle. I love you. Your day is going to be amazing.